The world stands on the edge of catastrophe. Urgent instructions have been issued globally. Wherever you are right now, stay put. Do not step outside. Do not leave your homes, offices, or shelters. The reason? An attack is imminent. This isn't a drill, nor is it a vague warning. The United States has officially instructed its military personnel, embassy staff, and all citizens, especially those stationed or residing in sensitive regions, to remain indoors and prepare for potential strikes. Following America's lead, the United Kingdom has issued similar advisories to its citizens, urging them not to leave their homes or workplaces under any circumstances. The term being emphasized across official channels is shelter in place. Stay exactly where you are, and do not attempt to move until further notice. Why such stark warnings? Because the situation has escalated beyond ordinary conflict. Iran, furious and determined, is preparing to launch an unprecedented counterattack. According to U.S. intelligence, the next 48 hours could witness what may become the largest attack in modern military history, an assault that could reshape the geopolitical landscape forever. Iran's military leadership, particularly the newly appointed Chief of Staff Abdul Rahim Mousavi, has issued chilling statements. Mousavi declared that Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu will face consequences so dire that Iran will not rest until he is forced to his knees. America's miscalculations, he warned, will cost them gravely. Iran's operations and strikes will continue relentlessly, with the ultimate goal of bringing Israel to a humiliating defeat. This isn't mere rhetoric. Iran is reportedly ready to deploy its latest generation of missiles, powerful weapon systems that have never before been used in combat. Preparations to close the strategic Strait of Hormuz are reportedly complete, a move that would paralyze global oil shipments and send energy prices skyrocketing. Meanwhile, Israel appears determined to escalate the conflict further. Their aim? To drag not only the United States, but also key Muslim nations into an all-out war against Iran. Their strategy is to provoke and pressure neighboring states to side against Iran, turning this into a full-blown regional conflict. Through back channels and diplomatic overtures, Israel is said to have conveyed messages to Iran, hinting at the possibility of a ceasefire, but Iran's response has been clear. You started this war. We will decide how and when it ends, and it will end on our terms. Iran, though smaller in scale compared to the military might of the U.S. and Israel, is fighting with surprising resilience. They are determined to make every strike count, pushing beyond their limits. For Israel and America, this conflict is becoming increasingly perilous. U.S. forces are expected to suffer significant casualties, and destruction on a massive scale appears inevitable. Reports have already surfaced that 50 Israeli fighter jets have penetrated Tehran's airspace, preparing to launch further strikes following America's devastating attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. Israel has simultaneously begun attacks on Lebanon, seeking to draw Hezbollah into the conflict, with an eye toward expanding operations into Iraq and potentially even Turkey. Iran, in response, is dismantling its agreements with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. They will no longer share data about their uranium reserves or nuclear activities, cutting off information that could otherwise be exploited by their enemies. Britain has issued an immediate evacuation advisory for its nationals in Israel. Netanyahu, driven by a messianic vision, reportedly believes that the fulfillment of a 2,000-year-old dream is at hand, a global conflict so vast and destructive that millions perish, creating the conditions for Israel's dangerous expansionist agenda. Meanwhile, in the U.S., conflicting signals abound. Former President Trump spoke shamelessly of regime change in Iran, only for the White House to later attempt damage control, claiming that the media misunderstood his intentions. The situation has alarmed other global powers. China has strongly condemned the U.S. and Israel's actions, warning that these reckless moves have set a disastrous precedent. No nation, they argue, will be safe in the aftermath of such aggression. In Israel, daily life is ground to a halt. Schools are closed, businesses shut, and public gatherings banned. The nation is bracing for impact, with officials repeating the plea: shelter in place. Stay where you are. Israel's attacks on Hezbollah have begun in earnest, and Iran is running out of time to formulate its response. Some fear that Israel may even resort to nuclear weapons, as was done in World War II against Japan. Such a move would unleash unimaginable devastation and likely drag the world into a third global war, a conflict with no winners, only ruin. The preemptive strikes by the U.S. and Israel are continuing, targeting various sites across Iran. Yet they claim that further action is necessary, arguing that Iran still poses a nuclear threat. This is a dangerous escalation that could spiral beyond control. Some analysts warn that Israel and the U.S. may also attempt to sour Iran's relations with other Muslim countries, provoking incidents that could justify dragging more nations into the fight. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz would devastate global oil supplies, sending prices to record highs and triggering worldwide economic turmoil. Flights across the Middle East have already been canceled. Travelers are stranded, supply chains disrupted, and fear grips the region. If Iran proceeds with its promised attacks, the U.S. will retaliate, potentially invoking NATO's Article 5, which would drag the entire alliance into war. The stage is set for a conflict of apocalyptic proportions. In summary, the world teeters on the brink of disaster. The drums of war grow louder. The Third World War has effectively begun. It only awaits its full, terrifying crescendo. The peace and stability we once knew may soon be a memory, lost to the flames of a conflict that could reshape humanity's future forever.